for a super fun mystery game? Let's learn how to play The Key Theft in Cliffrock Villa. Welcome to How to Play by We Play to Learn. I'm Briggs. Today we're teaching The Key Theft in Cliffrock Villa. And don't forget to stay to the end. We share some tips to make gameplay even better. You can find our game ratings and FAQ answers in our review. Link to the description below. But right now, let's find out how to play. The key may look like it has a lot of parts, but setup is pretty simple. Give each player a blue investigation file, dry erase marker, and a briefcase screen. The briefcase screens fold flat for storage, so you'll need to assemble them like this. It seems to work best if the outside flaps go under the center part. Then shuffle all the cards and spread them around the middle of the table where everyone can reach them. Make sure the back of the card showing colored squares is up. As a group, select one of the 9 different colored keys and place it in the middle of the table. The color of the key shows which version of the case you'll be solving. Note that while each version of the case only has one correct solution, you will be able to keep playing the game after you've used all 9 keys. Just pick a key color that nobody has played for a while. There are actually multiple games available on the Key series, each with the same basic gameplay, but different types of clues and difficulty levels. In Theft in Cliffrock Villa, players will compete to solve a series of thefts committed at 3 different times on the same day. Many elements of the crimes are already known. You will see all of these shown on the bottom of the briefcase screen. But to get convictions, the police need your help sorting this all out. For each time, you must figure out who was the thief, which item did they steal, and how did they escape. Each of these elements will only be used once between all 3 times. So your job is to use the available clues to match these up correctly. The detective that does this most efficiently wins the game. There are no turns in the key. All players will play at the same time and at their own pace. To start, just take a clue from the middle playing area. But there are a few things you'll need to know before choosing which clues to take. First, only take clues that have a square on the back that matches the color of the key for this game. Any clue that does not have that color will give you incorrect information. Second, each clue has 2 icons on the back that show which elements of the crime it will help you solve. You can use these to help find clues for the elements you're still missing, or to make sure you don't get clues for things you've already solved. Third, the red number at the top of each clue card shows how many investigative points that clue is worth. Clues with more points will give you more information, but you win the game by solving the case using the fewest investigative points. Now, very important things about clue cards. Once you take a clue, it never goes back into the middle. You will keep it until the end of the game. So what can you expect to see on the front of the clue cards? Remember, you need to determine the correct time, suspect, stolen item, and getaway vehicle for each theft. The clues will give you the information needed to tie these things together. And using your dry erase marker, write directly in your briefcase to record what you find. Let's look at some examples of how this works. Some clues will be straightforward like this one. It lets you cross off the elephant for 2 o'clock, but you still don't know the correct item for that time without other clues. This next clue does give us a direct connection between 2 elements, this suspect and the mask. But without knowing the time this happened, we can't mark it off on the briefcase yet. Other clues will require you to look at the top of your briefcase for the suspect's height, or in your investigation file for more information. In the file, you will see the age and photo of each suspect. The photos are used with the 4-point security camera clue cards to link a suspect and a time. The clue card will show a blurry image with only one clear spot. Find the one suspect photo that matches that clear spot to identify the thief for that time. You will also see fingerprints in the file, one set for each suspect. Each horizontal set belongs to the suspect next to it. If you get a fingerprint clue card, find the matching print in the file to tie a suspect to an item. The last of the clue types links a suspect with an escape method. These cards show a specific item that was found with one of the escape vehicles. Look at the back of the file and you will see an X-ray image for each of the suspect's luggage from when they entered the villa. Find that exact item in the luggage to identify the correct suspect. But be careful, some of the items can look very similar between different suspects, so don't rush it. And that's how you'll use the clue cards. As soon as you finish with one clue, you can grab another. You don't have to wait for the other players. And remember, each of the elements on the board can only be used once. So when you're sure of one element, you can cross it off for the other times. For example, if you know the crown was stolen at 2 o'clock, cross it off for 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Keep working through clues like this until you've eliminated all but one perpetrator, item, and escape method for each time. Then you will use the panel on the left side of the briefcase to figure out the 3-digit solution code for this case. For each of the element types in the case, compare the order of your solution with the list on the panel. For example, if the stolen item solution order was mask, crown, and elephant, use the number 4 for that element. Do this for all 3 elements to find the 3-digit code and then write it down in your briefcase, but don't announce the code to the table. If you are the first player to get your code, take the key from the middle. But the other players should keep going with their investigations. Remember, the winner of the game isn't the player that solves the case the fastest, but the player that solves it most efficiently. Once all players have finished, then everyone will announce their 3-digit code to the table. The player with the key then takes the solution board and looks for a lock that matches the number they came up with. If they don't find one, they went wrong somewhere and can't win. A player with a different number code should then check the solution board for their code. Once a match is found, insert the key in the hole next to the lock and hold it there while turning the solution board over. If the lock on the back does not match the color of the key, the code is wrong and another player should try theirs. If they do match, you have correctly solved the case, but that player is not automatically the winner. If more than one player had the correct code, you have to find which detective was the most efficient. This is where the investigative points on your clue cards come in. First, if the player who took the key had the correct code, they get to discard one of their lowest value cards at this time as a small reward for being the fastest. Then, all players that had the right code will add up the investigative points on their clue cards. The player with the fewest total points wins the game and is the master detective. First, separate your clue cards into 2 piles as you play. One pile should be clues you've already marked off, while the others for clues you can't mark off until you get more information. You have a lot of clue cards by the end, so this will help keep it organized. Second, write down notes for connections that cannot be marked off immediately. For example, if you find the item a suspect stole but don't know the time, you won't be able to mark it off on the bottom of the briefcase yet. When this happens, we will make a note of this either on the top of the briefcase or on a separate piece of paper. Then, just transfer that information to the bottom of the briefcase once you link a part of it with a time. But be careful, the order of the suspects on top of the briefcase doesn't match the order at the bottom. Just make sure not to mix up your notes because of this. Last, some clues mention the clothing color a suspect was wearing when they fled. Make sure you look at the clothing color they are wearing in the escape vehicles, not the clothing they are wearing on the profile pictures. If you want to see this game in action, watch our Let's Play video to see our family play through a whole game. That video is linked here and in the description below. And that's the key, theft in Cliffrock Villa. If you're looking for more fun family games like this one, then check out this video right here.